Hey, hello to the people of the interwebs. What is up? It's your boy, the handsome man, handsome Squidward man, right here. I'm gonna pick up some football for y'all today. Good morning. Uh, we're gonna start with the Patriots today. It's been a few days since I did this. I had to take a quick break, life. But you're not here for that. You're here for football. Let's go. We're doing the wide receiver corps first. We're gonna do this by position today. I want to do the wide receivers today because they just added Devontae Parker like 2 days ago. But I was I'm glad to see this happen. When I was thinking when I did the Dolphins one, I wanted them to trade Devontae, but I did not expect them to trade him to the Patriots. So that's pretty cool that they got a wide receiver. But the only thing about that is I'm not a big fan of this wide receiver corn. Like, hear me out. Kendrick Bourne, he was a great pickup. He had his best year with the team last year, down here, right here, this guy. He had 55 catches for 100 yards with 5 TDs. That's a good pickup. That's what you want. So, awesome. Nelson Aguilar though. This guy was one of their like big splashes or whatever, but he only started 13 games, 37 catches for 473 yards. That was almost like his worst year ever. So, on one hand, they got Kendrick, who had his best year, and then they got Nelson, who had his worst year. So, almost. So, I don't know. I feel like this guy didn't really pan out for him. Maybe give him another year, but with Devontae, he's kind of like a third, maybe. And uh, who knows? Maybe he'll step up. But one thing I did want to say that I just thought of, I forgot about Jacoby Myers. Why are they letting him go? I would like them to bring him back. He could have been the great third. He was their best for a little while. Like Kendrick Bourne, Devontae Parker, and Jacoby Myers. That, like, Nelson could be your fourth or something. Jacoby Myers had 866 yards. He almost had 1,000 yards, and you're just gonna let him go for Nelson Aguilar and Devontae? It's like, it's kind of sad. And like, I really like Devontae Parker, but he's never had 1,000. Or sorry, misword. He's only had one 1,000 yard season. So it's like Jacoby Myers, usually your best wide receiver. You don't like who's close to 1,000. You don't want to resign, but you keep Nelson Aguilar and you get Devontae Parker and you let Jacoby go. Why? Why let Jacoby go? That's just so confusing to me. He may not go, but as of now, he hasn't been re-signed. But they'll probably draft a wide receiver as well. You know, that'd be probably a good pickup. Um, I want to throw in tight ends as well, probably in the receiving core. Oh, also real quick, N'Keal Harry. I don't want to go without saying N'Keal Harry. This dude's probably a bust, so you can't rely on him. Ty Montgomery, just a depth guy or special teams. Malcolm Perry, Matthew Slaver, Christian. I don't know any of these guys, but they gotta step up or something. Maybe they're good, but I don't know. The Jonnu Smith Hunter Henry experiment did not really work out. Hunter Henry was definitely the better of the two. Uh, so they kept him and Jonnu Smith. I forgot where he went, but he's no longer here. Um, Dalton Keene, I don't know him, and then I don't know David or Devin. Excuse me. Maybe they're good seconds or thirds. Maybe they'll get another tight end. They'll probably have to draft one or sign one or something. But they'll probably draft one. So far they need a wide receiver, they need a tight end, and yeah, that's crazy. Hunter Henry's all right. He's a good first tight end. I think he could block a little bit, but he could also catch. This dude had 30 touchdowns like total, or has 30 touchdowns total. So that's wild. Red zone threat. I don't know Joshua Bledsoe, sadly. James White feels like he's been there forever. He's always a solid running back for him. You can't go wrong. They'll probably let him go when it's time to pay him though, so you never know. JJ Taylor, I do not know. Their running back room, you could really put anybody back there, it seems like. But Damian Harris and James White really got that locked down. It's a good one too. They're both a reason why Sony Michelle is able to get traded because you got James White, you got Damian Harris, you got what I think Ramondre Stevenson started to heat up because I feel like that's so familiar, but I can't really think of him. But no, that's a good That's a good back room. Jarrett Stidham, he was never gonna play. We all know that. We all should have known that. If we didn't, there's no way Jarrett Stidham would have started a game for him. And that's not to diss Jarrett Stidham or anything, but it's like they were always looking to upgrade. They always had to get someone, even if it was just Cam Newton. And that's not a diss on Cam Newton either. That was just his shoulder problems. But then they also went and drafted Mac Jones. So all that didn't even matter because they got Mac Jones. Big Mac Jones. I just want to say Big Mac. He made a Pro Bowl as an alternate. So that's pretty good. We'll see how this year goes with the loss of a lot of talent. Let's see if he could kind of do what Brady did when there's not much talent. Do something. Like, there is a lot of talent, don't get me wrong, but it's like they're starting to lose people, and they haven't really signed much. They signed, like, a little bit, They got Trent Brown and Devontae, but it's like, I feel like they need to sign some more people. Brian Hoyer, he's been there a while. He's a good backup. Never a starter. Good, solid backup. Knows the system. Might as well keep him. Jake Bailey, I don't really know him. I don't know, sadly, but if you're a good punter, hell yeah. Keep that. Keep good punting in the league. Will Sherman, I do not know either. You need good tackles. 300-pound tackle, that sounds pretty good to me. Mac Wilson, just a depth piece from the Browns. He didn't really work out, I don't think, so I'm pretty sure he's just a depth guy. Good to have in our depth, still pretty young. Isaiah Wynn, great draft pick. Really good draft pick. Glad they got a good lineman out of there. Out of Georgia. Good stuff. I don't know, Mike. I don't know a lot of their linemen. They traded, who'd they trade? They traded somebody. That's who it is. That Shaq Mason. Shaq Mason was the guy they traded to the Buccaneers for a 5th-round pick. That was another confusing thing. You only got a 5th round for Shaq Mason? That's so confusing. I liked Shaq Mason. Shaquille, he was real good. And I think it's just crazy that he was traded. But alright, I'm sorry. Sorry, bit of a tangent, but back to the lineman. If they didn't trade him, that would have been a really solid line. A lot of these guys I don't know. Like, they did bring back Trent Brown. Like, he's pretty good, but I feel like you need a good guard. And they'll probably draft a lineman. That's probably what my thought is. So they'll probably be fine. But man, I wish they didn't trade him. They probably couldn't re-sign him. Cap stuff. I don't know. Jalari Tavi, he was good. He was okay on the Lions. I don't want to say really good, but he was okay. He's just a depth guy. Joe Cardona, he will be in my long snapping video. I don't know much about him yet, but they're amazing. Josh, we're under their linebacking core, by the way. Josh, yeah, you could probably see. Don't know why I said that. Josh, for the 3rd time before I keep interrupting myself. He's just depth. This guy's a depth guy. Ronnie Perkins, don't really know. Probably just depth. Rayquad Mcmillan, this dude. I still thought he was on the Dolphins. When I realized he was on the Patriots, I was like, holy crap. Because I just remember him being a Dolphin. He's okay. He was good on the Dolphins. But then, he hasn't really done much. Because he played in 4 games with the Raiders last year. So, it's like, he hasn't played with the Patriots. 4 games with the Raiders. So it's kind of hard to determine where he's at. I was trying to think of how to describe him, and it's kind of hard because it's been so long. So, but who knows? Maybe he'll pan out. Cameron, I don't know. Harvey, good depth. Another good depth guy. Maybe he could play a few snaps. But here we go. This is my guy, Matthew freaking Judon. When they signed him, I was like, that is a great sign. I was sad the Ravens let him go. I wanted him to stay on the Ravens. But, boom, this was a great sign. He had 12.5 sacks for them last year. It was like 30 tackles, but 12.5 sacks. Boom, that's what you want. That's what you want. he was good. He was good. I think he's on a 4-year deal, so I'm really glad they got him. If they let Dante Hightower go, at least you got Matthew Judon and Jawan Bentley and Anthony Jennings. Anthony Jennings has not really started. He's been in there 3 years, but he's only started 4 games out of 14. So maybe he'll get the start with Dante Hightower leaving. And this seems like a loaded linebacking core with Rayquad, if he could go back to how he was, Anthony, Matthew, and Jawan. I really like those backers. I don't know Therese. I don't know Quinn. And like Harvey is your depth. I like that too. And then I don't know Cameron. And then I don't know Nick. I didn't realize Quinn was a kicker. If they're battling, Nick will probably win the battle. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Now we on to the defense. This is where they got the playmakers. Well, I guess I already talked about the defense, actually. So, I should cut that, but I'm going to leave it in because I sound dumb. We're going to start with, I don't know Yazir, but Davin. I had high hopes for this man right here. He had a set, like, I don't know how to say it, but this guy, he is just disappointing. He needed to just step it up. When they signed him, I was like, this guy could be a mauler, but then he just didn't really pan out. It was his second best year, but I want to see more from him. I bet this year maybe. Daniel, I do not know. I apologize. Christian Barmore, this dude was a second-round pick, and he hasn't really, I don't want to say lived up to expectations, but that's in a way he hasn't. But I don't think he's played that much either. He's only started 2 games, but he's played in 14 games, so he hasn't really got a full opportunity. He has 14 tackles, 1.5 sack, and 2 pass deflections, so that's pretty good for a DT, defensive tackle, you know? They actually could use a D lineman. Not even gonna lie. That's what makes me even look dumber for saying now we're getting on to the defense, even though I just did linebackers. But hopefully this guy steps up and does good. Dietrich wise, I do not know. I'm really sad. Bill Murray, the actor, decided to play defensive lineman, so that's awesome. I do not know. Hopefully he's really good. Lawrence Guy, this guy has been around for a while. He's only good at tackling, pretty much. He's been in 130 games total and 157 tackles. Could you guess how many sacks he has in 130 games? How many sacks do you think this man has? 12. That's not a diss, but you would like to see more. 12 sacks. But he does have 7 pass deflections and 2 forced fumbles. So he's okay at pass deflections. I admit that. But you got to get the sacks, my guy. We need more sacks. 157 tackles, that's amazing. But just get to the quarterback a little bit more. That's all I want. If I was his coach, that's all I'd say. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. Byron, I do not know. Henry Anderson's been real solid the entire time he's been there. I always like Henry. It's another guy you like pick up in like Madden. But he's a good dude for them. He's been consistent. He's just reliable as well. If you're reliable, that's all that matters. Adrian, I do not know. It's kind of crazy that they got Jabril Peppers, though. Like, when he was on the Browns, I was like, oh, this dude's going to be a freaking stud. I was so happy. And then he got, I think, traded or something to the Giants. And I was like, oh, dang. I was like, what's going on? And then he didn't play too well. And then now he's here. So, I feel like this is probably a great place for him. 2020 was his best year, and he was in 15 games before he got hurt. And with that being his best year, that's pretty good in 15 games. So hopefully he could bounce back and be the old Jabril. Devin, he's kind of getting up there in age, but he's always solid. Keep him as long as you can because I feel like he could perform for a while. Jonathan Jones, this man cannot stay healthy. If he would be able to just stay on the field, I feel like he could be a great man corner. Like it's so sad to see how much injury takes talent away. Like injury could just ruin careers, and it just sucks. And his is one of them. But he plays good when he's out there. I like watching him. And I hope he gets to stay healthy. I'm glad they keep on the roster. Kyle Duggar, just depth in my eyes. Cody Davis, I don't know. Miles Bryant, I don't know. They could really use a corner. Juwan Williams is another depth guy. And then Justin Bethel, I don't know. So, Terrence Mitchell, I think they just signed from the Texans. So, maybe he could be a good addition, but who knows, really. Oh, I actually am kind of forgetting about Jalen Mills down here and Malcolm Butler. I forgot about both of those. Okay, so you got Jabril here. I think he's more of a safety. So, as corners, you got Jalen, Terrence, Malcolm, and it would be Jonathan. But it's like, that is just not a good CB. I don't know why they let J.C. Jackson go and brought in Malcolm. Like, what are they doing? Jalen Mills is another reliable starter for that defense, and I like him. But it's like, man, I really like JC there. And you bring in Malcolm Butler just because he knows the system. It's like, who knows? Who knows what the heck? Patriots are so confusing. David Andrews, I really like him on the line too. I don't know why he's down here, but he's a good lineman. Forgot about him. And yeah, Jacoby Myers. Hopefully they bring him back, but if they don't, whoever picks him up will probably have a good two or three wide receiver right there. Jamie Collins, he's old enough. He was okay on the Lions, and he was only back because he knew the system. Carl Davis, I don't really know. Troy Fumagalli, he was on the Broncos for a while. I think he got hurt for a little bit. It's sad to see him probably not get re-signed. He might be a free agent, stay that way. Who knows who will sign him? Dante Hightower, I always liked him. He was one of my favorite Patriots, and it's sad that he might not be back. Brandon King, I do not know. I apologize. But yeah. Great. This is like a good team. It's like a playoff team, but it's like, I don't know if they're ready to go to the Super Bowl. I can't really see him get the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, here it is, the Devontae Parker trade. But it's like, maybe if they get lucky. But Mac Jones really has to step up. They really need a corner. They could use a wide receiver, a lineman, defensive lineman, probably a safety. And I don't know, man. They just confuse me. They really just confuse me sometimes. Trade their lineman, one of their good linemen, for a 5th round. Let JC go. Dante's going. Bring in Malcolm Butler. Weird. But maybe they'll prove me wrong and be really good. I'm not a head coach or anything, so what do I know? But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. This has been the Patriots breakdown. Love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Look at all these guys. Go out there and play some football in about 5 or 6 months. Or 4, however long it is. Later, y'all. All y'all handsome Squidwards. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. He has a mustache and some eyebrows. And a little bit of hair. Good stuff. Good stuff.